We got client providers who charge a premium for bariatric. Anyone over 250, you're going to pay an extra X number of dollars. It's a money maker. Private pay, money maker. Dealing with a HMO, dealing with a service agreement or contract work with the medical center, hospital, that's a money maker. Hello everyone, it's Joel Davis with the United Medical Transportation Providers Group, and you are the broker.com, helping you build a highly effective and highly profitable broker business. I want to talk about Logisticare today, some interesting things. Before I do, I am saddened to report that I just met with my financial advisor the other day before I went out of town, and year to date, we are up 47.19%. That's down from last month. We were at 50.33%, so we're down like 3 points. So I'm in a state of despair. Still doing exceptionally well, rocking the markets. Just had a big sell-off today. That's a buyer's opportunity out there. Bye. Anyways, I just share this with you because here's what I want you to think about with the markets, and why I tell you that, why I want you to become an investor, because you're working hard. You're building your business, and again, I'm sure you've all watched those videos. Go watch the videos where I talk about the liabilities, building your honeypot, your management company, things like that. The reason why you want to invest into equities in the markets, you're literally leveraging someone else's skill set and opportunity. I mean, while you're busy building your business, you're taking your hard-earned dollars, putting them to work, and you're letting someone else go out there, and you're literally investing in their business. So while you're building your business, bringing in your strong cash flow, funding your management company, funding your honeypot, you are leveraging someone else's skill set, intelligence, time, effort. Love it. Anyways, so we're still rocking the markets, loving all that. Before I dive in talking about Logisticare, there's a couple of I want to read an email to you, as well as a couple of emails, and then also some admin from some of my staff that posted some things they want me to share. So this first email, this underscores, frequently people ask, like, Joel, why do you do what you do? You don't need to be doing all this. Why do you do what you do? This email underscores, encapsulates exactly why I do what I do. This is from a client provider. Been working with her and her husband. Love working with them. Great people, hardworking people. And I sent her an email about her developing her retirement strategy or funding her honeypot, things like that. In response to my email, she wrote, I love you, Joel. Between yesterday's Chaser video and this email right here, you have spoke so much into my life. My husband and I come from humble beginnings, as do a lot of people you work with. We have been in the struggle or chase all of our lives. I try and educate myself as much as I can on finances and retirement, but it's something about what you said about investing in our retirement that just clicked in my head. I have X number of dollars sitting in a 401k from a previous job that I am definitely about to start my IRA with today. Love it. I know it's not a lot of money, but it's something. Amen. It's all about the start. I want to thank you because your email lets me know that you are here for the little people. I did not hire you to mentor us on our retirement, but you graciously gave me this information. I appreciate that. Before now, our retirement plans was built on our growing the business and hoping our home appreciates enough that we can sell it and move in with our kids. Laugh out loud. I know I'm rambling on, but I read this email at 3:45 a.m. this morning, and it brought tears to my eyes. If no one has told you, I want to tell you, thank you for all that you do. I pray that God continues to bless you so you can continue to be a blessing to others. Amen. That is what it's all about. Now, I like the thought process of your house appreciating, but that is not that's not the retirement strategy you want, especially trying to move in with one of your kids. I mean, they don't want you moving in with them. I love my mom. I own her house. I bought her house. Everything else, I pay all her bills, but I don't want her necessarily living with me. If I have to, I will, but you know, got to have a couple fences up. You know, fences make good friends, good family, good neighbors, that type of deal. But the kids don't want you living with you. I want you making money. Fund that honeypot so you have choices. That's what it's all about. But thank you so much for this email. Again, this underscores why I do what I do. And as I explained to you, this goes back in the day. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Back in the day when my old man split, I was about 7 years old, and my one brother, I'm the youngest of 7. My one brother, he's 2 years older than me. My older siblings, I'm the youngest of 7. My oldest brother and 4 girls, they were out of the house. It was really my mother, my one sister who came and helped us, and then my brother and I. So we were little kids. I remember, going through the struggle, having the heat turned off, not knowing where you're going to get your next meal, that type of deal. I get it. That's why God has blessed me beyond all measure. So you take the hard work, take the opportunity, the good ingenuity, all the gifts that God gives you, you build something special. That's why I love being in the position I'm in, and I want the same of you. I don't want you relying on your house to be your retirement or having to live with kids for your retirement. That's not what we want. But thank you so much for your email. Absolutely love it. Now here's another one. I just kind of put this in here because this is from a guy who said, Joel, I'm a commercial lender by trade and well experienced in the mortgage industry. I love your explanation and setup of the management company and your honeypot. This is how large corporations thrive, by legally moving money. Amen. You are making it relatable and understandable for anyone to apply to their own business. Exactly. I'll put some links below. Make sure that you go back and check those videos out where you see exactly what I'm talking about, the whole flow chart, building your different businesses, deploying your management company, your finance company, funding your honeypot, your retirement accounts, all that kind of good stuff. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to read that again real quick. Joel, I'm a commercial lender by trade and well experienced in the mortgage industry. I love your explanation and setup of the management company in your honeypot. This is how large corporations thrive, by legally moving money. And what did I say? You want to keep as much money in your quote-unquote system as possible so that way you can limit your exposure to taxation. You are making it relatable and understandable for anyone to apply to their own business. That is the absolute crux, the most important part of the message. You are making it relatable and understandable for anyone to apply to their own business. So I know that my previous video where I talked about being a chaser, many of you freebie experts, you're chasers. You're chaser by choice. You tell everyone, hey, avoid Joel Davis. Don't spend money. You don't need his help. Figure it out on your own. Use the freebie crap. And what is their overall message? Just bring you into the broker methodology. You can't scale that. I'm going to prove it to you in a minute. You cannot scale that broker methodology. It's not built for you to scale. It's built for you to be a sharecropper. Freebie expert, and I challenge you to find any freebie expert that shares that diagram and that strategy that I've shared in my previous videos. You're not going to get that from the chasers and the freebie experts. But for those of you who deploy that strategy, you're building strong sources of revenue. Trust me, it is going to benefit you long term. Now, some things here. This is from my staff that they wanted me to mention. Chances are good. I know many of you, we are working, our media team, we have a team of 4 people, great people, doing well, everything from the graphic design and the websites and the marketing materials, all that stuff. We got a team of 4 people. Honestly, they're swamped right now, so chances are good. We're going to be bringing on someone again soon. Once we find that right person, that will definitely help us out. But we definitely have a backlog. So if you're enlisting our help, you got to give us a little time. I mean, we can't whip up your website and your graphics and your marketing and all that stuff overnight. I mean, it takes time. Plus, we have other projects we're working on. So you got to bear with us. But we are working to possibly bring somebody else on, hopefully sooner rather than later. But we got to find that right key person who has the right skill set, talent, and works well with our existing team. Big difference between doing that and hiring someone. I know many of you guys complain because you'll call, we don't answer the phone all the time, because honestly, my people are swamped. We're busy. And so many people will call us with just absolutely stupid questions. Call and, yeah, I'm interested in starting an NEMT business. What's the next step? Read to the website. I would be wasting my money hiring someone to answer the phone and answer stupid questions. We don't have time for that. But just so you know, if you are enlisting our help, that's great. We love it. We love working with you. But understand, I mean, we're busy as heck, but we're not gonna forget about you. We're gonna take good care of you. Likewise, market analysis, they take time. I mean, I know we're on backlog right now. I'm telling you. So our market analysis right now, they said they're running closer to 15 weeks. They just did a market analysis in a major city. This is a city I'm surprised it's still standing. It's getting burned down by the Loon Tunes. But they said they did a market analysis of over 200 leads. So that's a lot. not all market analysis are going to have 200 leads for sure. We're going to look to identify the hospitals, the dialysis centers, the skilled care, nursing, rehab, assisted living, independent, retirement, community type deals. We want to identify all those possible targets. So when someone says they can't make money, there's no opportunity, they are crazy. There are so many facilities out there. That's why you gotta detach yourself from that chaser freebie mentality of just sign up with a Medicaid broker, just sign up with a worker comp broker. Detach yourself from that crap. I want to put you in a position to go after real money, real contracts, real service agreements. So anyways, they just did a market analysis of over 200 leads. That's a lot. They don't say what the mileage is here of how the overall distance scope, but that's a lot. So understand, it takes time because they call each and every one to try to determine what they're doing currently for transportation. Are they in-housing, outsourcing, their size, how big the facility is, are they predominantly private pay, Medicaid, Medicare, combination of both, who's the person, the point of contact, so that when you contact them, when you're building your strategic plan, then you contact them, you can have an idea to someone to reference. All right, so when you enlist our help for coaching, okay, I'm trying to read their notes here. First of all, for your logos, understand this, when you enlist our help, my goal is this. When you enlist my help for one-on-one coaching, everything I do is to position you for a future sale, bottom line. So that underscores, you got to be making money. Our goal is to help you make money, make money, make money. I want you positioned so your business sells at a multiple for a future sale. So with that being said, I'm going to just tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the best, based upon my experience, based upon what I see, based upon what I know, I'm going to give you the best possible advice. If your logo sucks, I'm going to tell you your logo sucks. If your name sucks, I'm going to tell you that your name sucks. It's just like if I start my transportation business, Joel's transportation business. Sorry, man, that's going to be a harder sell in the future. If I want to try to sell that, not everyone wants to buy Joel's Transportation. You want a name that's going to be more relatable. Likewise, logos, we try to avoid logo creation, but we will when we have to. We try to avoid it because some people, I have witnessed so many people who get bogged down in the weeds. They're not making any money, making no money, and they go back and forth and back and forth. The most OCD nickel and dime, they're so concerned and wrapped up over a logo versus going and making money that it's insane. I mean, the scenarios that we see and work with are absolutely crazy. So we will work with you and try to help you with your logo. If it's terrible, we're going to tell you, but we're not going to fight with you. And this is another point they wrote here. If, like in our questionnaire, when you enlist our help after you've watched the DVDs and studied the ebook, you're going to shoot us an email, let us know. We're going to send you a questionnaire. My staff uses that to gather all the information. They prep it, give it to me. That's what I use to learn about you and your start point. You're enlisting our help. We want to help you. Let us help you, but we're on your side. This isn't a negotiation. So like when we ask for your profit and loss, just give us your profit and loss so I can learn more about your business. How can you expect me to evaluate where you're strong and where you're weak if you're not going to share your profit and loss? Go through any of my videos. I never share your information with anybody. It's not going to be any type of a testimonial. And we've taken our testimonials down off our websites in terms of names, and we don't even share websites anymore because so many people, prospects, were calling our client providers. They were getting upset. They don't want that. They don't want the unsolicited random phone calls, people asking them questions. We're not sharing information like that. We don't do that. When we ask for your P&L or your agreements, it's for me to learn about your business. It's for me to learn about how much money you're making, where you're strong, where you're weak. I'm on your side. So if you're going to enlist our help, understand, I'm on your side. There's not going to be a negotiation, and I'm not going to waste your time or my time trying to pull teeth to get information from you. You either want my help or you don't. Bottom line. Likewise, my team. They bend over backwards to try to be as accommodating as possible. We always have someone on standby to answer emails and stuff. I mean, my staff, they do a great job. Love them. But we're on your side. So if we ask you for something, just Let us help you. It's crazy. Now, let's dive in to the meat and potatoes of this video, and it's regarding Logisticare. Now, before I read you this email from Logisticare, I got to set the stage. Now, understand, when I was at West Point, I was a pre-law major. So, with that being said, I personally enjoy, or should I say, am willing to read the tedious things in life to learn what I need to know. Case in point, back in the day, I literally read the original 2,000 pages of Obamacare. Yes, Obamacare, the original 2,000 pages, when they first came out many years ago, I actually read the original version. Some of the subsequent versions and edits, I didn't read all those. I remember being at one of our Virginia seminars, and I'm literally taking excerpts, as in screenshot excerpts from the Obamacare policy, putting them on the screen. I remember I had two females who were just like getting upset that I'm explaining how terrible the Obamacare was and how it is going to be adversely affecting our industry, and they were getting upset because I was bagging on their boy Obama. Now, I'm literally just showing you images from Obamacare. Now, I'm going to show you images. I didn't create this. I didn't create Obamacare. I didn't create what I'm going to show you here. This is from the SEC filings for Logisticare, their parent company. So I'm going to literally show you some excerpts from what they have to share, what is published. It's public knowledge. And I'm going to put the link in here. Make sure you go check it out if you want. If you're crazy like I am, and you kind of like get into that stuff, you like reading that stuff, click on the link, go through, read through some of this stuff. United States Securities and Exchange Commission, the Providence Service Corporation, which is the parent company of Logisticare. This is interesting stuff. You know, you just go through, even if you just peruse it a little bit, it's interesting because, I mean, look, Logisticare, they have multiple business interests. They're making money. They have multiple sources of revenue. Do you? Why don't you? If Logisticare is so dynamic, why aren't you doing the same thing? They're going to see right here that, you know, their background, they have non-emergency medical transportation, nationwide manager of non-emergency medical transportation program, blah, blah, blah. Their workforce development services. Their Logisticare, or this Providence company, their workforce development service is not only do they have a large presence in the United States, they also operate in 10 other countries. So they're big, they're magnanimous, they're all over the place. Why aren't you? We'll talk more about that in a minute. Their matrix investment, they have minority interest. But again, go through, check this thing out. I didn't put this together. I took just a couple of quick seconds just to highlight some things I thought were interesting. So as you read through this, right here, 77.9% of NEMT service of Logisticare's, 77.9% of Logisticare's NEMT service revenue in 2017 was generated under capitated contracts. Capitated contracts means that anybody involved in that contract, they get paid a fixed fee for every single member in that organization. So if it's a managed care organization, if it's a state organization, whatever it is, it's a capitated rate, which means Logisticare is never taking a loss on it. It continues here, based on per member per month fees for the number of members in the customer's program. So again, this just underscores that Logisticare, these brokers, they bust your chops. You know, I mean, they break you over the coals, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove it in a minute, but they never take a loss. 22.1%. This was interesting. This is interesting. I highlighted this. 22.1% of Logisticare services, the NEMT portion, Logisticare, 22.1% of their revenue was generated under other types of fee arrangements. This is interesting, including administrative services, fees for services, cost plus flat fee contracts under which fees are generated based upon billing rates for specific services or defined membership populations. So my point with this is they have a dynamic business plan. They're making money not just off you, but through administrative policies and procedures. Just another classic example of how they nickel and dime their providers, squeeze out every possible penny they can. Competition, this was interesting. We compete with a variety of national organizations that provide similar healthcare and social services related to transportation, such as Medical Transportation Management, which is MTM, Southeast Trans, VAO, and American Medical Response, AMR. But the reason why I found this interesting is, remember the video I put out a while back where I underscored the collusion, the Russian collusion between Logisticare, MTM, and Southeast Trans, and yet here it is with the SEC. To the SEC, Logisticare is identifying MTM and Southeast Trans as competitors. So they're competitors, yet they're all involved in Russian collusion. Absolutely unbelievable. So this is just a quick highlight because, again, I want you to understand, again, this is all from SEC filings, so go through and check this stuff out yourself. I just put this on there because here I highlighted this. They say our primary form of employee stock-based compensation are stock option awards. Are you getting any stock options in your business? Oh, that's right. You don't even make enough money from these brokers to scale your business, so therefore you're not getting any stock options. Including certain awards which are based upon performance conditions. Remember we talked about how a lot of these people who are nickel and diming you, they get bonuses on how much money they come in under value, how much money they save Logisticare, MTM, Southeast Trans. I mean, how much money they're able to come in under budget, they get a bonus. So that's why they nickel and dime you. Now, again, go through all this stuff, man. It's just common knowledge. But again, I like this stuff. Again, I was a pre-law major, so I'm kind of like into that thing. I like the details. The details are interesting. But anyways, now this is an email. This is a very quick response where this client provider who I'm working with has been predominantly ambulatory. Now we got a new vehicle. We're going to be doing some wheelchair work, things of that. He's trying to increase his rates of reimbursement for ambulatory. And the response from Logisticare, they shared the rates. I'm going to show you here in a second. But the response in the email is from Logisticare, quote, below is a recap of our conversation and rates. I will still need to get multiple approvals. I need multiple approvals on this, as the rates are still higher than any provider in the area. Such a joke. Also, if we do approve this, there is not going to be much in the way of future growth as we control overall cost. I'm going to read that again. Also, if we do approve this, now mind you, this guy's not looking for a boatload of money. He just wants some, what I would argue, almost negligible increases to further, pad him up a little bit, make a little more money. But Logisticare, also, if we do approve this, there is not going to be much in the way of future growth. Well, you're not getting any growth. As we, Logisticare, control overall cost. In certain scenarios, we will go to the lower cost provider first. Yeah, there's your quality care. So go back to the Logisticare website, go to all their propaganda, all their marketing, go to all those conferences where you get your lanyard and you go to their breakout sessions, and they're sponsored by Logisticare and MTM and Uber and Lyft and all kind of stuff, and they're going to talk about how great they are, and they're focused on healthcare and helping people. Yet, in certain scenarios, we will go to the lower cost providers first. Exactly. So don't preach all your nonsense. You care about the quality. Your cost base first. Now, look, I don't begrudge you any of that, Logisticare. You're in a business. You got to make money. I 1,000% agree with you, but don't lie of what you're trying to do. That's one of my big things. But the primary thing is, again, because I work with so many client providers who are getting shafted by Logisticare and MTM and Southeast Trans, et cetera, I personally gravitate towards being that advocate, fighting for them to make real money. And it's just such a crock. I mean, they're worried about paying their dividends, not paying the client providers. Logisticare continues. I will discuss, as well as the wheelchair rates, because again, now he's starting to deploy wheelchair vehicle. So I will discuss as well the wheelchair rates if we can get to an agreement on these, if we can get there. I will need to review with my management and our legal team to see if Logisticare can approve. Oh, it's such a struggle. Such a struggle. A struggle is real. If not, I will let you know. Now, look at these rates, ambulatory. Look at the ambulatory rates. Now, let's take the 7 to 10 miles. And let's think about this. The 7 to 10 miles, that doesn't sound like a lot. 7 to 10 miles, you don't trip down the road, okay. But what happens if it's, first of all, the driver has to drive out there, pick up the person. So the driver has to leave from wherever, drive out there on your dime, wear and tear, gas, all that kind of good stuff. Pick that person up. If they're in a facility, help them out, help them in, all this kind of stuff. Could take time. Then drive them to the appointment. If it's during prime time, maybe is it more rural? Is it more urban? Are you caught in traffic? I mean, a 7 to 10 mile could be 30 minutes. And what your reimbursement is going to be $16.83. I mean, what are you paying your drivers? How much money do you really make with this? And you're paying, especially if you're paying insurance on this for the vehicle. You're paying wear and tear. The wheelchair, that's insane. The wheelchair, chances are good you're going into that facility. You're going to help transfer that person. That's going to take more time. Bring them out, load them in, strap them in, up the lift, down the lift, all that kind of good stuff. For 25 bucks? 25 bucks? Look at the bariatric. We got client providers who charge a premium for bariatric. Anyone over $250, you're going to pay an extra X number of dollars. It's a money maker. Private pay, money maker. Dealing with a HMO, dealing with a service agreement or contract work with the medical center, hospital, that's a money maker. Logisticare is suggesting we're going to pay you the exact same. Now, a bariatric, realistically, especially, I mean, 250 pounds isn't, in my mind, isn't that big of a deal, but 350, that's a heavy one. There could be some people 450, that's a heavy heifer right there. I mean, it is what it is. You got to have multiple people. You're going to get paid the same by Logisticare? It's insane. Here's the point to all this. I know you've all seen my videos, you've watched Logisticare, I know you're against them, all that kind of stuff, just like I am. I get it, we're all on the same page. Here's what I want you to understand. Look at Logisticare. I don't hate on Logisticare. I really don't. I do, but I don't. Because they're in business to make money. And these chasers, these freebie experts, and everyone, oh, you don't have to listen to Joel. I'll just sign up with a broker. Are you crazy? Logisticare is a ginormous broker. They have, I just showed you from their SEC filings. They not only operate in the U.S., but overseas in 10 other countries, dynamic business model, different types of services. Why don't you do the same? They're a ginormous broker. Why aren't you also serving your business and deploying a broker strategy, even if it's not a broker business like you are thebroker.com, but even in your NEMT business? Some of my guys do that. Now, I wouldn't tell you, there's some people in the NEMT business who go and they become a broker for a broker, i.e. they broker out Logisticare work. That's a tough one. Now, if it's a supplementation to your existing business model, then that's one thing. But there's some people, that's all they do. And their margins are slim. And they have a hard time even trying to retain people. It's crazy. Bottom line is, you and I both know, Logisticare is making money. But you cannot grow. You cannot scale. The key word is scale. You cannot scale on these numbers. I didn't make this stuff up. I didn't put this together. I'm just simply interpreting, showing you what's there. If Logisticare can be so big, so magnanimous, so diverse, why can't you? Well, first of all, if you're stuck on the brokers and you think you're going to scale off these leftover numbers while they're giving people bonuses to drive down your numbers. You heard, I just read you that email from Logisticare. We need to check with our managers. We need to check with our legal. My client provider is asking for just a few penny increase, and you have to get approval and upper management. And I'm not even giving you the entire backstory, how they gave him, how multiple people were involved, and they all tell different stories, and we're catching them in lies. I'm not even telling you that whole backstory. That's a whole nother rigmarole. But bottom line is, You got to think bigger. You got to do bigger. If you think you're going to attach yourself to this is building your house on sand. This is not sustainable. Go back and read the SEC filing where Logisticare is talking about they typically have contracts for 3 to 5 years unless they're dealing with the managed care organization. With the MCOs, it could be perpetual until one of them ends the contract. It's right there in the SEC. You want to build your house where you're gonna hitch your wagon to Logisticare and they may lose their contract in 3 years? It's insane. Yet people do it all the time. Where are those freebie chasers? Chase, chase, chase. The hunting is good. You don't need Joel. You don't need his help. Just sign up with the broker. You're insane. But for those of you who have the discernment and wisdom to shed this nonsense and you got a bigger vision, feel free to hit us up. When you do hit us up and you retain our services, I can promise you one thing. We'll see you at the top.